I just had to do just a land speed record car.
So you have two gears.
Yes.
And to engage from going from one gear to another, there isn't a conventional clutch as such.
There is a conventional clutch. No,
right.
The fact the gearbox is in the back axle is beside the point. It's just like a gear. The gear lever's there. The clutch is the pedals are the same as a modern car.
Yeah.
Throttle brake. Although on typical Edwardian, that brake works, the transmission brake, which doesn't really do anything. The brake lever there works the side brakes, which is so you use that to slow down, and I never use that brake. The clutch is normal, and that's the clutch there.
Yeah.
And it's just like a normal car. So to pull away, you put your foot on the clutch, wait till it stops going round, and put it into bottom gear, which you put in a gear lever down there.
Yeah.
And then to change into second, foot on the clutch, wait, pause a bit, and into second, which is there.
Yeah.
It's just like a normal vintage gearbox with a very big gap.
Yeah.
It's like driving a normal car in third and fifth, sort of. So bottom gear, at tick over in bottom gear, I'm going faster than 30 miles an hour. You have to go in a 30 mile an hour limit. You've got your hand on the brake. You've got declutching. It won't go slowly.
No. And I hate this question because I don't want to ask it, but I'm sure somebody else will. What might be the insurance value on this?
Well, it's very difficult to. It's impossible to value a car like this because a car you can only. It's easiest to value a car by, well, how much was the last one sold for? And they only made one, and so it's impossible to tell.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, how much is it worth? It's worth as much as someone is prepared to pay me for it.
Yeah.
And no one's made me an offer yet, so I'll let you know.
Of your nature, I mean, and I'm not. Don't take this the wrong way. You like to do a project. You like to work on something, and then you like to get yourself teeth into something else.
No. Well, yes, no. I do know people who get all excited about a project. As soon as they've finished it, they're bored with it.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky because I like fettling cars, but I love driving them. So in a way, the project has only just started when I actually finished the rebuild.
Yeah.
Because I love driving these cars, and I especially love driving them on the road. You know, the fun is only just starting.
So we know this car today probably does a ton.
Oh, yes, it'll easily do 120, easily, because it's going, but the carburetors are very early, they're the original carburetors, and they didn't fully understand carburation, and they're not very good. But because the car was last used in 1909, Aldi never got around to putting better carbs on. If it had been carried on being driven into the 20s, I'm sure they would have been thrown away and better carbs put on, but luckily they survived. But I've done a little modification to them using knowledge that people had in 1910 that they didn't have in 1905, and they now work much better, but they're still the original carb. So it will do at least 120. I would be surprised if it wouldn't do 130. Surely 130. Yeah, I'm just not entirely sure about what the tyres, the speed rating is, but I bet I've done 100 in it because at Silverstone. My first race meeting, I know I was going quicker than I was on the road. I bet I'd done 100, and it'd get there so easily.
Yeah. And is there an awful lot of vibration, or
no, the engine's very smooth, and the suspension is very firm. And on a badly made road, it's quite bumpy. But in fact, on a decent road, it's lovely. It's very good on the road, and a lot of potholes are not very nice. But once you're going, the suspension is lovely, and the handling is fantastic. The steering is lovely, and it drives around corners really nicely.
Yeah.
It's not actually difficult to drive. If you're used to this kind of car, there's nothing about it that makes it impossible. The clutch and gear change are the trickiest bit. And like all cars with no front brakes, you have to drive quite differently to a modern car. You have to look a long way ahead because you cannot stop quickly. So you have to make sure that you don't need to. Okay.
recording.
Friday, you're going to get a fright.
Dog's dead.